Welcome back to Supers Live. Man, catching our breath. We told all of you that it was going to be a thrilling night of super modified sim racing. We told you that the drivers were going to have their hands full here on the famed high banks of the Salem Speedway in southern Indiana. We told you to watch out for the driver of the number 3 and the number 13 and the number 11, and they all played into the finishes of both of these races here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk to the winner of our first feature event here this evening, driver of the number 3 BMK Logistics, Chasing Cameras, Roadster, Liverpool, New York. It's Brad Keyser. Brad, congratulations on your win. Factored into both of these tonight, but that first race down to the wire, last minute pass, last corner pass to take the lead and the win. You have got a lot of wins in a wing super modified when it comes to the wing side up twin 25s. This makes your fourth overall, your very first at Salem Speedway. What's it like to race here on these famed high banks and then set in victory lane after a supers race?
Thanks, Bob. A lot of fun. I mean, it's a interesting track to say the least. It kind of raced a little differently than I thought it would. It was more of a middle line than really a high or low, which was good and bad for me. But the first race, I actually thought that was my worst car. I thought I had a better non-wing car, but I had some damage on that one on the early collision, so the car wasn't right. But no, it was a lot of fun. Working the way through. I don't remember where I started in that one. I think I started third, and it kind of played out pretty well. I was patient enough, and unfortunately, Bob Haydock, while leading, spun coming off I think four, which opened it up for me. And then from there, I had a little battle with Ryan, but I was definitely quicker in the wing car. Really, my wing car, what I thought I could do is I could run different. I could run high, low, middle, and be real consistent with it. And that car was just really good. um, it's fun, this track. I like these fast high bank tracks with multiple lines. It gives me some maneuverability and lets me run different styles and just try to get on it. But it was so momentum based, very much like Bristol and some of the other tracks we run, where if you have to get on a throttle too long, you lose the momentum. And Dave got me with probably like four to go, where I got caught up on a lap car, lost momentum, and he went by me. It looked like Mach 10, and then he got caught up on someone, and I went back by him. And then coming to the line, he almost got me coming off four a little bit because I heard his tire out there, so I just didn't close the door to the outside wall, because I knew if I squeezed him, that pit entrance might catch him, and if it caught him, it would get me. And I'm not sure if both of us would have made it down the straightaway for the finish line at that point. But it was a fun race, thanks to First Finish Servers, Icings on Top, Breeze Graphics, Everybody Studios, and BMK Logistics for letting us do this on Tuesday night. Uh, there's it's a fun thing hanging out with everybody here and just racing. But it was a good race. It was fun racing with everybody up front, and it was fun with the lap cars. Even though I had them by a little bit of speed, they were a lot of fun to race, and they did a great job of holding their lines.
Brad, that second race was something else as well. Lost the lead towards the end of the race after missing some close calls out there. Your thoughts on not being able to double up here tonight?
Yeah, that's what got me is I left 25 points out there. Plus, that it was a rough one. You and I had, I think, a little net code issue early, and it threw me hard into the outside wall down in 3 and 4, and it ripped the right front tire up. And it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to drive it because it was always a little snappy loose. And then I changed the boost setting, honestly, which I really don't change that often. I changed the boost, and the car came in, and I was way faster than Ryan with a couple laps to go. Really closed it big time. And coming off four, he got a little loose or lag, not sure what it was, and I had a decision to make where I could either go through him and confidently would have. I'm pretty sure I would have got through it. I'm not so sure the 13 would have. But instead, I decided to let off it. When I let off, I just again lost so much momentum that the 11 came flying by me, and so I went from battling for first to drop to third. So just tough to give 30 points up like that, but all in all, I came out here clean. I can't complain because there's a lot of other wreck cars here tonight that didn't make it to the finish. So in the end, I brought two cars back, and the owner will be happy that there's still cars to race in the future.
Congratulations on a win and a third here tonight at the Wingside Up Twin 25s at Salem.
Thanks, sir.
Your winner of the second race, this makes two non-wing Wingside Up Twin 25s that he's won in a row, and he puts himself into kind of an elite company up there with more than one of the wins in a Wingside Up Twin 25. His first win at the Salem Speedway. Ryan Cloonan out of Oswego, New York, and the simability.com figured into the top three on both ones. A good points night for you, Ryan. A lot of action out there in the first race. You led a lot of it and then ended up coming home in third when it was all said and done. How much did that feature race teach you for the second one? Be in a position to pick up the win.
I knew with the first race it was going to be a real tight battle. I knew Brad was coming underneath me there. I tried to hold it high, hit the wall, came down, and I believe it was actually Dave-O that I clipped, and it broke the left rear suspension. So after that, I was just struggling to hold on to the car and bring it home in one piece. But I also knew that it was going to be real tight in the second one after that. I knew that Brad and Dave, they're always fast, but I also thought I might have a chance because I knew how close we were in that first one. So then in the second one, I actually managed to get collected a little bit there in the beginning of the race, had a little bit of damage, but I guess Brad ended up worse off than I did. And late in the race, he made a bobble on one of the few laps in after a restart, and I managed to squeak by him. And after that, it was just try to run away as fast as I could. And sadly, I'm not sure what happened with him. He said that there might have been a little lag or I got loose. I thought I was pretty smooth there at the end, so it might have just been a connection issue, and he had a lift and ended up losing out for him. But it was a real good running with him, and glad to actually bring one home.
Congratulations, Ryan. A good night for you. Leave it here in the Simability number 13. Good job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We are going to let everybody know that if you would like to join Supers and race with Supers, just like Star Wars Beast 3 on our Twitch channel is talking about doing, you can do that. Just go to supers.net, click the About tab or the Fan tab, click the Driver tab. You can learn how to join Supers. Click the Join tab and fill out the join form, and you can become a Supers member as well. And you know, the thing is that when you join Supers, your donation to Supers for your membership goes to help injured drivers, their families in their times of need. And we would appreciate any donations of any kind, because when you donate to Supers, it always goes to help other people, not just the members. We don't pay cash awards ever. In fact, the winners here tonight will get an autograph, or excuse me, a vintage 8x10 photo of a race, a super modified race from Salem Speedway. So we always try to give out things that has something to do with where we're racing or what we're racing. It's always super modified. Super modified is a first name in our name. But we want to say, come and join us. We're looking for new members. We're looking for guys that want to race R-Factor NASCAR Heat. And that's what we're going to be doing next week. We're going to the Empire State Super Series blind date night. The drivers are not going to know what track they're racing on until after practice. They'll practice on 3 tracks. We'll draw a name out of a hat for one of those 3 tracks, and that's what they're racing on. It's part of the Empire State Super Series Regional Tour, and we invite everybody to enjoy that. We won't be broadcasting live, but we'll have the results up on the website right after the race, so check that out, the Empire State Super Series. And just one of the cool things we do here at Supers, run that old NASCAR Heat game from the year 2000. I bet there's some people tuned in tonight that weren't even born in the year 2000. We're racing it. This is going to be celebrating 20 years of continuous super modified sanctioning next year. Thank you so much to First to Finish Race Service, BreezeGraphics.com, Hairbag Studios, Icings on Top, Specialty Cakes for All Occasion, proud sponsor of the Supers Rookie of the Year Award and the Supers Triple Crown of Super Modified Sim Racing. Grid-Finder.com. Find your place on the grid. Become a Grid Finder approved league, just like Supers. Burger Smokehouse, simple family traditions on the web since 1927 at smokehouse.com. Also, thanks a lot to Wags Custom and Cool Awards, making you look cool in Victory Lane, just like they did tonight with Ryan Clunan and Brad Keyser. BMK Logistics, getting your Amazon products to you in speedy delivery style. BMKLogistics.com. Also, thanks to RG Gill Photos and Designs, the Mod Squad, and HeatFinder.net, and of course, Super Modified Scorecard, and tonight's sponsor, Wingsight Up, wingsiteup.wordpress.com. We will remind everybody that there's a lot of people hurt right now. We want to give a shout out to Super Modified, former Super Modified car owner, crew member for the Shirey Group Effort Racing, Andy Roberts, who's had a pretty tough spell here lately. His birthday's coming up on Friday, and he's going to spend it in the hospital. Andy, get well soon. He carries the Supers decal on the race cars that he sponsored for Danny Shirey and Kevin Shirey and Eric Shirey, and I was a big part of the Shirey Group Effort Racing over there in Oberlin, Ohio. So get well soon, Andy, and we're thinking about you, buddy. We want to remind everybody that as we leave Salem tonight, the most important thing in life is that you always keep it wing side up and wheels to the ground.
Well, if you're gonna do it, I say do it with someone you love. And if you're going through it, I say do it with someone you love.